Boys ain't easy to love, and they're hard to hold. They'd rather give you a song than diamonds and gold. Hey, how y'all doing today? Today I want to talk about male masculinity, fatherhood. It seems to me that men in general have been piled on, kind of bashed, made irrelevant, made fools by the media everywhere we look. You even hear terms like toxic masculinity. I have a problem with that. Number one, I feel like as a responsible, decent guy, a husband that actually does what I'm supposed to as a husband, and a father of three boys, I probably deserve a little bit more respect than that. We all do. And by me making this video, I'm not trying to take away from moms, women, womanhood, nothing whatsoever. Don't get me wrong. A lot of single moms out there with deadbeat guys, whatever. Hey, I salute you. Keep up the good work. Respect. But what I am trying to get at, as a dad, I feel like we have a place in society too, males in general. Masculinity is not a crime. Little boys doing little boy stuff is not a crime. Let them go outside. Let them be boys. Stop demonizing men be men. Men do men stuff. Women do women stuff. Not saying women can't do men stuff and vice versa. I'm not saying that either. But I don't see a point in making males feel like ashamed to be males. Number one, the shit ain't happening in my house, so don't worry about that. And I'm raising three boys that will become men by the time they leave this house. And it's important to me. It's important for a lot of reasons. Males do have a place in society. Women have a place in society. I already talked about that in my opening. But little things, we're coddling these boys now, and we expect them to behave like girls. And if they don't, something's supposed to be wrong with them. Oh, wow, he's too hyper. We need to get him some medicine from a doctor. No, you don't. You need to just understand he's a boy, and boy's going to do boy stuff. And he's going to grow up and be a man, and not a grown boy, but a man. There's a difference. Because if he's still doing little boy stuff when he's grown, that's not a man, and that's what I'm getting at too. Those people out there that really demonize masculinity, maybe they don't fully understand it, because let's face it, there's been a lot of deadbeat dads out there not stepping up to the plate. And I think that has a big void in some of the society we're dealing with now. People just coming up, never having that example, so therefore they think it's so foreign. Well, that's just not right. Something ain't right. Little stuff like, I was taking my oldest son to Walmart the other day to get some of these little airsoft pellets. He's 12, that's what he's into. And, behind the counter, the guy tells me, he's like, yeah, you got to be 18 for BBs, airsoft pellets, even stuff for a little slingshot. He's like, any projectile. So, I'm a guy to try to go along, get along. I'm not going to make us think, I'm like, okay. Then he goes on to tell me, like, well, and even knives, even a kitchen knife, 18 and older. So again, I'm just, I'm not sure why he's giving me all this information, and I have my three boys with me, so I'm like, okay, man, that's fine. And then I notice his demeanor, we'll get to that in a second, but he has definitely had a political agenda, and now I'm getting a little bit bothered, right? Not mad, not frustrated, nothing, I'm just, and he's like, yeah, and any guns here, you got to be 21 and older, no exceptions. So I'm just kind of mumble. I'm like, well, that's interesting. He leans over the counter and is like, what's interesting? What's interesting? I'm like, well, I was just thinking to myself, how would that work out? I mean, there's a Second Amendment, so I know y'all like a private business, and yeah, y'all can, have policies, but that's kind of a gray area, at least for me. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not the brightest guy, but how can you pick and choose someone's rights? I mean, if you walk in Walmart, can they limit your First Amendment? Can they limit, where you sit based on your religion or ethnic or race, But again, that's a whole nother topic for something else. But then he starts like basically, I don't know, pushing an agenda. Now, in front of my boys, I didn't ask for none of this conversation. He's now pretty much telling me, not literally, but telling me his agenda, like what's right, what's acceptable, and this and that in society. Now I'm feeling a certain way because, I get along with everybody, but it's clear to me by his lifestyle choices that he did mention to me. And he's not having kids, okay? I'll leave it at that way. Well, hey, cool, fine with me. Do what you want. I don't care. But I feel like I'm being punked once more with my kids in front of me by some guy that obviously has something in for masculinity, I guess. Well, I didn't have to guess. He went on to tell me later, how he really felt, I guess. And the guy won't belligerent. I won't, I'm not going to exaggerate it to say he was. But, he kind of bothered me. So, long story short, I told my son, I'm like, son, I didn't realize these airsoft pellets, plastic like that dangerous. Let's just go get some real bullets. So, we got a couple boxes of 22s and, some stuff to shoot the AK with. And we did. And we're safe and all that, weapon safety. Dad's with them. But, it just bothers me that people feel so empowered to, like, attack dad, attack manhood, masculinity. Now, what are you going to do in a society where you have a bunch of boys, like, never held a pocket knife, never shot a gun, terrified? You say gun, they're probably going to pee themselves and cry. What are you going to do when they leave the house? Here, son, here's a rape whistle. If you're in trouble, hide, call 911, coward in place. Hey, I need help. And then blow 3 times on your rape whistle. Danger. Come on. This is not the end of the world. That could be a tool to save you, or hunting with, or just have fun and playing targets with. And if you don't like, I'm not pushing my agenda either. Hey, that's fine. That's not your thing. Don't buy one. That's your right. But anything to do with masculinity seems to be a crime. And for the life of me, I just don't get, when did being a man just become wrong? Do I need to talk softer? Do I need to do my hair like Justin Bieber or something and walk around? It ain't happening. Don't worry about that. And I'm tolerant. We live in an age where everyone wants tolerance. And tolerance is a cool thing. I'm all about tolerance. But damn it, tolerate me. Tolerate the father figure trying to do the right thing, stand with his woman, not cheating and running around, raising your kids, trying to better your kids. When is that such a bad thing in our society? I don't get it. But, I wish people would consider that before they start, slapping labels like that, like it's a bad thing. Manhood is just outrageous, I think part of the problem is a lot of people they never stepped up. They've never tried to do the right thing. And we're kind of lacking in general in society. So your more traditional values that people perceive to be traditional has become something wrong. And then the stuff that's become alternate is right. So, I'm not trying to tell people morally what's right or wrong either. But there's a place for how people like me conduct themselves, how men that are men should have our place to be respected just like everyone else. Stop making us sound and look like fools. And some of us are, like I said, I'm not trying to be Mr. Macho here. I'm not trying to really sound like I'm just better and know better. But, it makes me fearful of where we're going to go in society if we keep on with what we're doing with these young boys out there. We used to have role models out there, John Wayne, Chuck Norris, Chuck is still a legend, by the way. But, but now, I mean, really, what do little boys have to really look up to or whatever? Should be their dad, I hope. But in general, even in pop culture, we've kind of demonized manhood in general. Just something to think about because it's been on my mind for a while. Hey, respect to everybody out there, and I look forward to talking to you next time.